This video is for Higher Graphic Communication Assignment 2023, which was the menu, salt and pepper holder. In this video, we are going to look at creating the table number plate, which is shown on datasheet 6. So the number plate has this ellipse at the centre, and then we have these two paths running either side, which we will create by creating a profile and then creating a path and using sweep along a path. But we're going to start off with this ellipse in the middle. So we can see that it has a major axis of 52 and a minor axis of 24, and then it has a thickness of 6. And then there is an offset of 3, which has a thickness of 1, and that is repeated on both sides. So the first thing we're going to do is open up Inventor, and we're going to make sure that we have a standard millimeter part. And we want to click Start a 2D Sketch, and we want to select the XY plane. Now under the circle category, we're going to press Ellipse, and we're going to start the ellipse off in the centre of our two axes on the green dot. And we're just going to click to the side and above. Don't worry about the sizes just now. Now we're going to use the dimension tool to dimension our ellipse. So I'm going to click the outside of my ellipse and I'm going to click above it and make sure that size is 26. And then I'm going to click the outside of my ellipse again, but this time select it to the right hand side, and I'm going to make that size 12. Once I'm done, I'm going to finish the sketch and I'm going to extrude it by 6, like so. Now we're going to do the kind of smaller ellipse in the middle. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch on one of the surfaces, and I'm going to project the geometry of the ellipse that I've already made. I'm then going to offset that by the 3 that it said on the pictorial view. So I'm going to offset it by 3 and press enter and then finish the sketch. And then I'm going to extrude that by 1. So click extrude and change the size to 1. And then I'm going to do the exact same on the back. So start a 2D sketch on the back, project the geometry of the ellipse, click offset, click there the ellipse and change it to 3, and then finish the sketch and extrude it by 1. So now we have our ellipse, and we're going to now start creating the sweep that is on either side of the ellipse. So the first thing we are going to do is to create the path. So we're going to find a plane that runs down the middle of these ellipses. So I'm going to go to the plane menu and I'm going to select the mid plane between two planes, and I'm going to select the one side of the ellipse and then the other side of the ellipse. You can see that has now gave me a centre plane. So now I'm going to start a sketch on that plane, and I'm going to press F7 just so that it halves the shape and it makes it a little bit easier to see. So now, using the information on the datasheet, we are going to look at creating this shape. So if we go back, we can see that we're going to kind of create this shape here. So we're going up 50, and then we've got a radius of 200, and then it goes up 10, and then we've got a radius of 10, and then it goes along 30. So the first thing we're going to do is go along 30. So I'm going to take my line, I'm going to start at the centre of my ellipse, and I'm going to go along 30, like so. Now where the 30 is, we now have a radius of 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down from the end of my 30, I'm going to go down 10. And what that will do is it will give me a centre point to use circle. So I'm going to click the end of that 10 and then click the top of it. So I've drew a circle at 20. Now we can go down a further 10. So I'm going to use my line tool, and then at the right hand side of my circle, I'm going to go down another 10. And now what I can do is I can delete my first 10 and I can use trim to remove that part of the circle. So I've now got my line at 30 and then a curve at 10 and then another line at 10, like so. Next, we need to work out the arc so that we can go from this point here and get a second point so that we can do our arc at 200. So what we know is that the height of the arc is 80 before it touches the 50 line, and that this point here for the arc is 20 away from the centre. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get an overall height. So I'm going to draw my line at 100. So I'm going to take my line, go from the centre of my ellipse, and I'm going to draw a line at 100. I am then going to go out to the side 20. So from my 100 line, I'm going to go out 20. Like so. And this now gives us 2 points for my arc. So I can go to the bottom of my 10 line and the side of my 20 line, and I can make that arc 200, like so. And that just leaves us to do the little line at 50 at the bottom. So again, I'm going to go back to line, and where the end of my arc is, I'm going to go straight down 50. Now, in order for the sweep to work, we're just going to make sure that we delete the 100 line and we delete the little 20 line. So we've only got the path that we can see. Once we've done that, we're going to finish the sketch. Next, we need to draw the profile for the sweep. So we are going to turn on a perpendicular plane and then draw our circle at 6. So I'm going to click plane, and I'm just going to click that little edge of our 50 line, and then I'm going to start a sketch on that plane, making sure that I've got a circle at 6, like so. I am then going to use sweep to sweep that profile, and then click path and select the path and press OK. And you can see that that has swept across. Now we could draw another path and profile on the other side, but to save us some time, we can now use mirror. So I'm going to find a plane that runs down the centre of my ellipse. So in this case, it is the YZ plane, and I'm just going to turn that visibility on. I'm then going to press mirror, and I'm going to select my path, select my mirror plane to be that centre, and then press OK. And you can see that that has now repeated it on the other side. Once we've done that, we're just going to turn off the visibility of all planes that are still there, like so. And that is the menu holder now completed.